March the 21st, garden plants. As you might expect, many of the garden plants of February continue to flower into March, usually in better condition and with numerous new cultivars to be seen. Early snowdrops, aconites and crocuses are all starting to decline, with daffodils and then tulips and the first wallflowers taking over. Plants typical of the month include all sorts of primula, polyanthus, crocus, hellebores, leucojum, cyclamen, iphaeum, pulmonaria, Bergenia, Narcissus vinca, Veronica symphytum, hyacinth, euphorbia, arabis, and obretia. Small blue squills and their relatives may have been flowering since the middle of February, but as they come into bloom at slightly different times, it is only now they can all be seen together. One of the most widely planted, with its downward pointed star-shaped deep blue flowers, is Scilla sibirica spring beauty. This is probably the most intensive blue to be seen the whole month, and was bred as recently as 1935. The Scillas tend to be an intense blue, but are sometimes confused with Gloria the Snow, Chianodoxa, which tend to have pale blue flowers with white eyes. And then there are the Muscari's, to add even more confusion, with often having white or pale blue flowers, but with a distinctive blue line running down the center of their petals. Identification can be difficult as there are different species, pink and white forms as well as hybrids. All these plants are at their best when planted in drift beneath trees, where they can make one of the most attractive spectacles of the month. Scilla sibirica, as the name suggests, comes from Russia. Pushkinea tilioides is from the Lebanon, and Chianodoxa is a snowmelt species from Turkey. The whole group range from southern Russia through the Caucasus, Turkey down to Crete and the Lebanon. One or two feel comfortable enough here to hop over the garden wall and can occasionally be found growing in the wild. Scilla sibirica is reported from the unlikely setting of Headley Heath. Scilla italica at Worley Place, and Chianodoxa is naturalized at Kew. The small milky blue flowers of grape hyacinths, Muscari species, are also common from March onwards. Once again, there are several species with various shades of blue, with or without their white teeth, but it is the pale blue forms that predominate and are naturalized here and there. Garden anemones are also very much a feature of the month. Again, dozens of varieties of our native anemone nemorosa can be seen, as well as anemone blanda and anemone apennina. Their colour range is extensive, from white, silver, through rose, pink to blue and purple. Not surprisingly, blanda means pleasing. These small, delicate anemones move in the wind, have delicate colours, and eagerly lean towards the sun. Some other garden anemones can also be found naturalized. Anemone ranunculoides, a wild yellow anemone from northern Europe, can be found at Worley, and anemone apennina, a northern Mediterranean species, by the river Wandle at Mitcham. It is better to look for these flowers in full sun, as they are shy to open if there's any shade. Small irises are also a March speciality. The deep purple violet-scented iris reticulata is likely to be the most commonly encountered. Here again there are many different forms, mainly blue and dark purple. Others, such as Iris danfordii and Iris histrioides major, are also small, perhaps only 8 or 10 centimeters tall, but far more sturdy. Iris danfordii is usually a vivid yellow and honey-scented. Iris histrioides major has more colours and is violet-scented. In its various forms and hybrids, its crest, standards, tunic, epaulets, and falls can sport white, yellow, blue, and purple. Its name means histrio, meaning actor, referring to a multicoloured face. One of the most interesting March irises to look out for now is Iris tuberosa, the snake-head iris, widow iris, or velvet fleur de luce. It's easily recognised by its mysterious green, purple, and black colours. Gerard waxed lyrical when describing it, with words like black velvet and goose-turd green. It was cultivated by ancient Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians, all of who would have found it growing locally on stony hillsides. It is naturalized in Devon, but unfortunately not in London. Other garden plants of note now making an appearance include Brunera, Acidanthera, Clematis, Dodecatheon, Hecatia epipactis, Hepatica, Convolvulus sonorum, Saxifraga, Adonis, Dahurica, Corridalis, and Leopard's bane. Leopard's bane stands out as one of the first border plants of the year, growing up to a meter in height with its large, yellow, daisy-like flowers. It is thought to have been introduced by medieval apothecaries, as it had two important uses. The root juice was useful for killing leopards, and the flower, if laid beside a scorpion, rendered its sting useless. Why these were important enough for it to be grown in medieval London remains a mystery, but it still remains naturalized in a few places around the city. Blue-eyed Mary, Omphaloides inverna, is also occasionally encountered in March. It has been continually popular since it was first introduced in 1633, quickly becoming a favourite and finding its way into many pictures and embroidery of the period. It was said to have been Marie Antoinette's favourite flower.